Okay, so here's a more complicated solving problem. Okay, so our first step is to get this equal to 0, and it's not. I look to my highest exponent, and I want to move everything to that side to keep it positive. So I'm going to subtract 24x from both sides. And then I get 6x cubed minus 18x squared minus 24x equals 0. And this probably freaks you out because, wait, that's cubed? Well, we can't solve this unless we can get a GCF out, okay? So that's where the GCF comes in. So step 1 is to get it equal to 0. Step 2 is to factor and first do our GCF. So I'm going to take out, well, what I notice is I can take out a 6. 6 is divisible by all of these, but I can also take out an x. And then 6 times 1 gives me 6. And if I had 3 of the x's and I took 1, I have x squared. 6 to give me negative 18, 6, 12, 18, that's 3. And I factored out one of the x's, so I'm left with 1. And 6 goes into negative 24 4 times. And we took the x, and so we're left with that. So now what we have to do is we have to use the box method on this portion. So I have x squared, I have negative 4, and then I'm trying to figure out what multiplies to negative 4x squared and adds to the middle term, negative 3x. And so I think of negative 1x and 4x and negative 4x and 1x. And the one that adds to negative 3x, and I know there are other ones that work, but the one that works to give me negative 3, I see it already, so I don't have to make any more. So there it is. So I have negative 4x and 1x. I factor out my row. I can take an x out of both of these, and I'm left with an x and a negative 4. If I took an x out of this, I'm left with a 1. And just for double checking purposes, negative 4 times 1 does give me negative 4. Okay, so now I go back up here, and I'm going to rewrite the problem. I have 6x that I had there, and now I have x minus 4 times x plus 1. So my third step, remember, is to set everything equal to 0 and solve, right? Each of those parentheses. Well, this doesn't have a parenthesis, but I could put one there. When you take a GCF out, if it's just a number, it's not going to have any impact on your answers because the only answers come from variables. But this does have a variable. So I'm going to set 6x equal to 0. And when I divide both sides by 6, I get x equals 0. I'm going to set x minus 4 equal to 0. And when I solve that, I get positive 4. And then I'm going to set x plus 1 equal to 0. And when I solve that, I get negative 1. So this is the case where this could have been 0, this could have been 0, or this could have been 0, or any combination of these. And so I have to take into account all of my answers. So the difference with this one is it actually starts off as a cubic, right? But we're still able to use our factoring tools to be able to solve this and find the solutions or where it would cross the x-axis.